Hey, Phil!
Hey.
Wait for me!
Oh, come on.
Man, y'all start without shit.
You know, I've been trying to get my own channel. I didn't think you were going to make it.
I thought you gave up on that, if I'm being honest.
I never give up.
Anyway, this is the Oddity Critics.
And I'm Philip the Punisher Collins, sick, but I'm here.
Tyler Pain in the Ass, not sick.
Yeah, so if you see me throw up on him, you know.
All I'm saying, he's a sick one. He got here on time.
Yeah, that's because I love you guys so much.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah, but I'm here doing it
The
sick.
legs can only go so fast.
But like he said, we're the Oddity Critics. We're here with another double feature horror movie.
Why?
Because it's the month of October.
What's the movie, Phil?
Well, we got, our category is dogs.
Dolls.
We got Dead Silence
That's a good one.
and Child's Play.
I've never heard that.
The original, not the remake, because we already have the remake video. And if you haven't seen it, go back in time and watch our video.
Yeah, for real.
Anyways.
I mean, or you don't have to go back in time.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, you could. Back in time in our videos. But before we get started, I want y'all to know, once you subscribe, you're part of our family. And first I wanted to let everybody know, thank you for...
and we care about it.
Yeah, we care about our family. With that being said, it's been brought to my attention that one of our family members / subscribers / somebody who's giving us a quote, she has, her kitty isn't in good shape right now, and we are both animal lovers. So
I have
we
4 dogs. So.
I got a dog, but even though she's a bitch, I still love her.
Right.
But with that being said, we just wanted to say we hope your cat has a speedy recovery and everything goes
Many years
to
to come.
come and things get better. Everybody who's following, send your prayers and love to Not Your Zombie. That's her name. We had her do a quote for us.
And to anyone else that might be going
Yeah,
through
anybody
stuff that
else
we don't know about.
Yeah,
you know,
whether it is about an animal or your personal life or anything like that.
We hope everything goes well.
Not that we can do anything to help out as much, but
maybe we can give you some laughs.
exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Like maybe you can watch this and laugh at our stupidity.
I got there faster because I'm a little better than you.
Yeah, well, so you were here late, motherfucker.
I had to catch up somehow, right?
Anyways,
I think we're even.
but speedy recovery and
Let's get into it.
yeah.
So which one we do first?
We're gonna do Dead Silence first.
Dead Silence first.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Leave the best for last.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Alright, Dead Silence. This movie is about
dolls. But okay, so it's about this legend where this guy grew up from called Mary Shaw, and if you see her and you scream, she rips the tongue out of your
mouth.
Yeah.
But she would embody herself into these dolls.
Yeah.
And she would, if you screamed at the doll, it'd count as
Yeah,
you screaming
exactly.
at her, and the doll would rip the tongue out.
Yeah, and the dolls are possessed, like I said, by her, so they still can move and all the creepiness that you would expect from a horror movie about dolls.
And I'm gonna say
ventriloquist dolls.
Yeah, I'm gonna say one of my favorite parts about this movie is just at first you kind of expect oh, it's gonna be one of those creepy dolls where the doll's just gonna have something happen to them. No, these dolls will get up and attack you.
Yep.
And they're they're real fast. And they just straight up go for it. That's what I really like. That's one of my favorite parts of this movie.
What I also like, for the most part, it's like by the numbers kind of thing. Like a story and all that, but it has enough, like oohs and ahs to make it where it's not actually by the book, especially the ending. And first of all, I do love the director James Wan, and if you don't know that name, he did the first Saw movie, he did the new Aquaman movie, he did the Fast and Furious movie that was Paul Walker's last movie.
I think that was 7.
6 or 7.
6.
I can't remember.
7, I think, is the one where they split off. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't
It's
remember.
been a while since I watched it.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so this guy, he also did the Conjuring movies. I don't know if I told you that.
I like
He did Insidious.
Also good.
So he's really known for horror. And the funny thing is, and I'm not like trying to say anything about races or anything like that, but he's from Australia, but he's also Asian. So just hearing him in interviews is always funny, hearing an Asian with an Australian accent. But that's what I think makes him, as you know.
But one thing I'd say against this movie is I really hated the fact that because this happened to, you know, the guy and the girl and stuff, I feel like they had this attitude that everyone should expect that what they're saying is normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, a doll's killing us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like anyone's going to look at that and be like, what? And like, no. But they're sitting there like yelling at these people. Like, why aren't you helping? Type of thing.
They were like, and then saying, okay, so when the guy was saying, where I'm from, there's a local legend about Mary Shawns. Like, this motherfucker, the cop doesn't even know, you know, I mean, he knows where you're from, but he's like, you act like he knows about your local legend and all that.
Right. And then you gotta, I don't think they realize how, and I know they're going through a traumatic experience and stuff, but I feel like you also have to have some logic behind what you're saying. At least understand that people are obviously not going to know what the fuck.
I mean, I do think that the cop should have, when he was like, there was a package delivered and then moments later she's killed.
Yeah, I feel like they're just like, well, unless the doll, you know, but
yeah.
I feel like they didn't care about evidence. Kind of where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But besides that, I mean, it's definitely creepy. I mean, I'm not saying like it's the best horror movie I've seen, but I do really love that ending. Mm-hmm. You know, like you think everything. I mean, you could tell by how it's going that it's not going to be like that. But then it goes more in detail about finding the perfect doll, and to her, Mary Shaw's character, a perfect doll is a human that she can use as a puppet, pretty much. And so when that ending hit, and the first time I saw it, I didn't catch it, and when I was showing him for the first time, and there was a line that was said, I go, there's a line that was just said that's gonna show you, pretty much gave you like a hint of how the ending's gonna be.
I don't remember what the line is.
You're the last of your bloodline.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and you find out that the dad isn't, you know, because he had his dad, he was talking to his dad, but if he was the last of his bloodline, then how was he be able to talk to like when his dad's still alive? So we ain't gonna spoil the ending for you 100%, but let's just say
it's a twist.
Yeah.
You won't expect it.
Yeah.
I definitely say that.
Now I do, because we watched the unrated version, and I've seen the rated version. The only thing I hated was close to the end with the clown, and when he's saying that you're the last of the bloodline and all that, and the whole like tongue thing. I didn't really care for that.
Yeah.
And plus, it was so much CGI that it kind of looked fake. I mean, it was fake because it's CGI, but it could have definitely made it look cleaner or whatever. Like hired somebody better for the special effects. I don't know what. Since I haven't been put in that situation,
who knows? Or because it was kind of near the ending, they might have just run out of the budget for it.
That is true.
To do something.
And then the part, it was funny when he fell down and he was like holding his mouth and he fell through the water and all that, and you were like, man, he has a long.
Yeah, he could breathe for fucking ever.
Yeah, because that was a good like.
Because he not only had to go under, but then he had to go through like a little tunnel way, and then he had to like swim around.
And see that was a part of the unrated version.
And then
too.
While he was in the tunnel, he got scared, and you could see, he released his breath, so you know that he can't breathe. But then there's like another minute of him holding his breath. I was like, I couldn't do that.
I definitely couldn't. I mean, I have a hard time holding my breath for 30 seconds as it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyways.
What do you give this movie, Phil?
I will give this movie a 6.25.
6.25, that's not
bad.
Well, I'm going to say I'm going to do something similar. The reason I would give this movie a better rating if it wasn't for, like he said, the obvious CGI, that one scene, but then you can kind of see it a little bit here and there.
Yeah, you can see where it doesn't really add up.
Yeah, and I think that's the only reason I'm going to lower my score. I'm going to give it a 5.75.
Okay.
I was going to say a 6.25, but because of that reason, I'm going to give it 5.75.
Would I give it a 6.25?
6.25.
So, and you gave it a 5.75?
So that's 12.
A 12 out of 20. Which doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, it's definitely like, if you want to just like pop in, and it's only like an hour and a half, so
yeah, it's not too bad.
So I mean, it does go by fast, and it definitely has the creepiness to not that it has a whole bunch of blood or gore or nothing like that, but it has enough creepiness to keep you in there and be like, what's going to happen next?
And I'm gonna be honest, this movie, the reason I find it so notable is because before I watched this movie, because I just watched it the first time. Before I watched the movie, I knew about this doll. You see, you hear, but it's somewhere in my childhood I've seen or heard about the doll, and multiple times enough for me to remember it. I think that's what keeps it, the longevity at least a bit on it. And it's always one of those, it's not like a hard name to forget, it's just Dead Silence. So I feel like that interprets
and the picture's pretty simple to find. It's just Billy the doll, and then it's just like.
And I feel like Dead Silence is a perfect name for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you want to survive, you got to be dead silent.
Right.
I mean, you can have a. Funny thing is, while we were watching this, we kind of came up with an idea of like what happens if something like this happen. You're going with that, but instead of being a screamer, what if you like hyperventilate, like with that count?
Right.
So James Warren, if you see this video, let us know. What would that count as? You screamed.
Exactly.
Anyways, you know what that means.
What does it mean?
I feel like my voice is kind of going.
It does sound like it's going.
So that means stand back.
What?
There's a sick boy coming through.
Okay. I'm singing first.
Okay, you can sing first.
Honestly, I'm sorry if I butcher this so bad. It's Dara City Central by Night. I can't remember their. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but it's about a mall in Dubai. I just found out, but I'm doing verse 2. And sorry if I butcher this. It's like a rap song. I'm not the best at doing this. Apologies. But
remember, I'm tone deaf, so
taking my life, thinking it's right, switching the mist and point to the type, watching my thoughts in the back of my mind, telling that I know for a fact that they mine. Watch me, I'm so low. I walk with your photo, take money from the locked door. Bitch, move back what you came for. Swinging down the waterway. Take a dip in the planche. I come with the landscape. I run it with the wrong day. Tell me, bitch, that I wait outside. Tell me shit that I never hide. Thinking down with no side to side. Breaking down with no shit to try. And then it's like, taking in my life. I don't know. I don't even know. But it's a good song, I think. It's one of those songs that, you care more about the beat and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I found myself listening to it, so I was like, yeah, might as well.
I didn't tell you what song I'm doing, but
He did not.
Tyler sung the song, and he got it stuck in my head, and with all the stuff that me not feeling good, and then hearing about my friend's cat and all that.
Was that song I was singing earlier?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
It was like a few days ago. I'm not gonna. Once you figure it out, you can shout it out during while I'm singing, but.
I'll click this button when I find it out.
I hurt myself today.
Hurt?
By who?
Well, I know Johnny Cash.
Yeah, that's the first one I'm doing, not 9 Inch Nails.
Okay.
To see if I still feel. Focus on the pain. The only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you can have my empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will
make you hurt.
Yeah!
Yeah.
good
See, I feel like that time with that song, since I know the beat, I could sing it a little bit better. Like I can go with it. So, which totally means I'm not 100% tone deaf.
Just like 95%.
Yeah, 95. Or, what? 94.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
94. I don't know.
Anyways. My chest is itching.
Is that how you scratch it?
Well, I didn't want to raise my shirt up.
God. We're gonna get like a copyright strike or something.
Anyways, before we get into our Child's Play, I do have another quote from Villainous Varnishes. It's short and sweet. And first of all, in case you don't remember, she said this is one of the horror movies. If she had to be in a horror movie and survivability, Child's Play would be one of the ones.
She thinks she can survive?
Yeah, but only thing I'm worried about is,
Hunt that motherfucker. It's like
well, Stan Helson was. I gotta show you that
okay.
that movie one day because they have like somebody playing as Chucky, but he goes, "What's my weakness?" And he's like, "You're just a doll." But anyways, who knows? The thing could fucking sneak up on you and fucking
Right.
cut your ankles.
I mean,
and-
to be fair.
yeah, I mean,
But now this Child's Play, I can kind of see where she's going. But if it was the newest one,
yeah, that'd be a little bit different.
it'd be a little bit different.
So, first of all, she says, Child's Play. She says she will give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
It's definitely a classic, and it has been interesting. And it has an interesting storyline and cool effects for its time. Short and sweet of what she feels about the movie and how she likes it. I mean,
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Villainous
Thank you.
Varnishes. Thank you again for the quote. We really appreciate the support that she's been giving us, and any support that anybody gives us. But definitely, she's been willing to give quotes without anything besides us giving her a shout out. So I really appreciate.
And really, we
Stuff
don't have
that-
to, but it's
yeah.
just, it's something we feel like we need.
Yeah, but remember, if you want any like horror thing, she actually just did some pictures of her as Coraline.
Ooh.
Actually, I'm gonna show some people this so they can get an idea of what her stuff looks like.
Let me do it.
I can do it, motherfucker. You son of a bitch.
I'm fucking leaving.
Good, I can finish.
This place.
Over. Yeah, let me.
I see.
But
Come on, will you show me, Phil? Show the
I'm-
audience.
just so, like I said, you want any of this.
Cool.
It can't not focusing good enough.
That's good enough. You
But,
get the point.
yeah. Villainous Varnishes, check her out for any horror. Motherfucker. Spaghetti blowjob.
What?
A spaghetti blowjob.
That's gross. What are you doing?
You forgot the marinara sauce.
That's
And the angel hair noodles.
Ew.
Yeah, the good part is your nuts are the meatballs.
Well, at least I don't have to get meatballs.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get to this Child's Play.
Child's Play.
So,
Why is it called Child's
first,
Play?
is this the first time you saw the movie?
No, I've seen this movie one other time, but it's
A long time ago.
Yeah, it's
So, when I saw Child's Play, well, when I was younger, I actually didn't know, but the first one I saw was in Child's Play. It was Child's
first
Play
one I
3.
saw was Bride of Chucky.
Well, mine was Child's Play 3 when he was in the Army. Barclay's in the Army. And I was about 4.5, and this is when I used to live in Missouri. And I thought Chucky was so funny. I was actually, here's how I can still remember it. I was drinking milk, and he was saying something funny, and then the milk came out of my nose.
I've only watched 3 Chucky movies. The first one was Bride of Chucky, and I was young enough to where I was legitimately scared by shit when it came to horror movies, and this movie used to traumatize me.
Yeah.
Or The Bride of Chucky.
Yeah. But that just shows you Chucky has, I mean, first of all, longevity, we don't even have to touch that because,
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously.
look how
You say Chucky. What's the first thing that's gonna come to your head?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you say Child's Play. What's the first thing that's gonna come to your head? Everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
So.
And that just shows you the stand of time that it does. And let me tell you, Brad Dourif, who plays the voice of Chucky, he's a fucking phenomenal actor. I mean, he's been in serious movies like One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson, but you know now he's more like horror. But he was a Broadway actor, which is interesting. You know, so yeah, for him to do this, it was interesting. But I just feel like he just embodied.
I think he was definitely a big part.
Yeah.
Of what made Chucky who he is. But some of my favorite parts about this movie were honestly the kills. You know, if you've watched any Chucky movies, you know how he killed. You know.
Yeah.
You know he doesn't play. He will act like nothing's wrong, or like he acts like a normal doll until he needs to strike.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parts of this movie was when he was sitting there. And she's like, I'm gonna throw you in the fire. He's like, you know, bitch, or whatever the fuck. That's
fucker. You know, yeah, I do love that. Like, I heard people were talking like with the new Child's Play, they were saying like, well, the mom really didn't really do anything. But if you watch this one, the mom really, you know, she had her parts in it.
Honestly, I feel like it was about the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the mom plays the part of getting the doll, and the mom plays the part of
not believing her
distracting.
son.
Well, none of that, but distracting the doll long enough for her son to realize that the doll's bad. You know, in the newest one.
Yeah.
And this one, it's more like the son knows, and then he has to convince. But I feel like the mom, and actually both movies do a pretty good job at doing what they.
Yeah, even though they don't have
doing their part. I feel like because it's mostly based off Chucky and the kid.
Yeah.
Really, and just all the.
And I like if this is the first time you watched it. I mean, that cover art kind of gives it away and all that. But if you just popped in and didn't know anything, you know, you're wondering like maybe this kid's crazy and maybe the doll's not really alive or nothing like that. So I mean, it's definitely interesting not knowing at the time. Now, once you know it and once you know that how many sequels it.
And you kind of also don't and also if you know like you never watched Chucky but you look at the sequels, you're watching the first movie or any movie for the first time. You don't know what's going to happen to Chucky because if there's multiple movies, for all you know, that Chucky could survive through all of them and be good at what he's doing.
I do like the whole idea of like the more he lives in the body of the doll, the more.
I did like that. One thing I would say that I didn't like is in the newest one, it kind of gives you the story of why Chucky's like misformed. I feel like this movie doesn't give a good job at why Chucky's the way.
Well, they do it more in the sequels. I mean, but I know it doesn't help with this.
But I mean, of course, she gets it kind of like half off from this strange dude that has a cart, like a homeless dude. With a cart.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's really all you get on his backstory until.
I mean, his backstory is he was a murderer and. That voodoo priest.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying the doll itself.
Yeah. I mean, I guess as the first, like, I'm sure that if it was a G.I. Joe that he ran into, he would have turned into a G.I. Joe. But
that's fair enough.
But it was just because he got shot and bleeding to death, and he wanted to transform his body into something.
Right.
But I just, the new Child's Play works on the fear of what happens if technology took over.
Right.
But at the time when this one came out,
the technology was.
Well, not just that, but like what's scarier than a kid's doll try to possess him and kill people around him? Like to me, that's
especially someone living in the doll.
And knowing that he's not who he says he is. But overall, you can't go wrong with Child's Play unless you're a kid and you're afraid of dolls or afraid of your doll coming back. Like my nephew was like that. He can't watch Child's Play. He gets freaked out.
That's how I used to be.
Yeah.
But let's get into rating this. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
All right. So I genuinely like this movie. I'm just going to go straight for it. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5.
8.5 out of 10. I think it's worth it.
I'm going to be close to kind of like how you were with me. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
So I mean, 16.5.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the higher scores that we really rated.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie, I suggest anyone. I
It's
suggest.
a timeless classic.
I
do think Child's Play 2 is better, but that's because it goes more in depth.
And how much did you get this movie for? $5?
Yeah, at Walmart, and it had a special cover, and it had a coloring book in there.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cheap. Good movie. It's a
Mhm.
good sit down and watch movie. And it's not even terribly long either.
Yeah,
So I suggest this to everyone,
yeah,
especially if you
Okay.
like horror and killers.
yep. And a trash talking killer.
Yeah, and it's funny and you
Yeah.
know all that stuff. So you're
Mhm.
not just getting horror out of it.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess that's gonna wrap up another video. Remember, everybody, like, share, subscribe.
Comment. Let us
comment.
know how you enjoyed it.
Send prayers to anybody who needs them. Well, I wouldn't say prayers, but goodwill or good fortune or nothing or anything like that.
And just to clear up something from last video, I do know who Good Charlotte is.
Yeah.
Not saying any name.
Well, I'm gonna say that damn Ben again. He just, I feel like this Ben hates us.
You know what? I challenge you in a Good Charlotte sing-off.
Because Ben won't even accept my challenge, so
Yeah, that's true. I challenge you in a Good Charlotte sing-off.
I already did my Good Charlotte, so
I haven't done that.
yeah. So I guess that is.
Maybe next week.
But don't forget, you can still enter to win, to pick our karaoke song for Friday. You got another day or two left. But all you have to do is a screenshot that you
What do we need,
subscribed.
One more song?
We just have to pick the winner. Screenshot that you follow us, send it to us, and then you're entered to win. And then we'll put it on Instagram, and yeah.
Right. So, have a good one.
Stay classy.